Thank you all, Rotarians and guests. I've chosen a difficult topic for today's inspirational, and it's a through line that I've picked up on starting with General Mattis's talk with us just a few weeks ago. He talked about the polarization of our nation, and that's led him to throw away all the TVs in his house. Just last week, we had the pleasure of hearing from past President Darrell Blue about his political pins, which he's gotten from various organizations and parties over the decades. And in the back of his mind was, what could he talk about during a polarized election year? And we've heard again and again from President Jimmy about how while we celebrate our differences here, we leave our divisiveness at the door. But a question was asked at the end of George Mattis's speech: what can we as individuals do about this? And I'd like to offer a framework that has been being developed in academia with you that's provided me some insight. It's been said that the opposite of love isn't hate, but indifference. And we have a unique opportunity in Rotary to build community. So the framework that I'm going to talk about has been developed by academics such as Ryan Brown at Rice University, and they talk about different cultures, and I'm going to talk about two of those cultures today. One is called honor culture, and the other is called dignity culture. Examples of honor culture could be ancient Japan, the coastal United States, and more urban areas. Honor culture can be found in places like the southern United States and more rural parts of America. When you see an old Western movie, it's not uncommon to see honor culture. Honor cultures often start in places that are economically depressed, where there isn't great policing, and so there's a need for traditionally the patriarch of the family to set out to defend his family's honor, and if there's any attack on the honor, then that means they're going to be in the street having a duel. And there's values that come from honor culture, though, that ring true with American values: loyalty and courage. Dignity cultures have something to offer to America too. Dignity cultures can be found in places like modern Norway, and what you see there is that humans have an intrinsic value just because they're human beings, and the rule of law is strong, and so self-help isn't really expected. And there's, as opposed to maybe what could be seen as superficial politeness in honor cultures, more kindness and treating equality, giving people equal opportunities. These are more of the values. And I'm not here to say either one is better than the other. I offer critiques of both. With an honor culture, if you lose your job, if you're fired, if you retire, you may lose your sense of honor. And there's no floor if you lost your value. There's no floor. And so, in ancient Japan, the answer was seppuku. So for honor culture's blind spot, dignity culture does provide a safety net to a person's value. Conversely, if you grew up in a household where father knows best is laughable to you, and you think that honor culture doesn't have anything to provide to you and it's holding the country back or something, I would point you to an article from the New Yorker, February 3rd edition, titled "The U.S. Military Recruiting Crisis." The U.S. military has had to set up remedial boot camps boot camps that are available to people who want to serve our country but don't have the physical or educational requirements necessary to even get into basic training. So dignity culture can check itself and realize that honor culture is something that we need, because our military leaders are saying, well, you guys are having this political fight, we got to figure out how we're going to man our military with insufficient personnel. Now, for people in honor culture, I would remind you, in a small town, yes, maybe everyone knows your name, but everyone knows your shame. When one person is looking at a shape and they say, that's a square, there's no way you can talk me out of that not being a square. And another person and their buddy can be looking at the same thing and say, that's a triangle, and anyone who says that's not a triangle is crazy. Without talking to one another, they don't realize that they're actually looking at a pyramid. Our motto of service above self offers us a bridge. We can serve with pride while recognizing the dignity of our members and the community we serve. Thank you.